All right, so here is the second kind of scenario that we could find ourselves in when we're talking about linear systems of equations. So in this case, let's say that we have two linear equations, two lines, two straight lines that happen to be parallel. So let's pretend that I drew these exactly parallel. We have an equation that goes with this line, and we have an equation that goes with this line right here. All right? I am telling you that these are parallel lines, okay? So if these lines are parallel, that means they will never ever touch. If they never ever touch, that means they'll never meet. If they never meet, that means that they will never have a common solution. All right? So these two lines, if they are parallel, so parallel lines, parallel lines never meet and therefore are inconsistent. Inconsistent, which means that they will never share a common point. They will never cross. So there's no XY pairing that will solve one and will also solve the other. Nope, will never ever happen. And so therefore parallel lines are always going to be inconsistent. You could also think of it that all inconsistent lines are also have to be parallel. Because if a line is inconsistent, if two lines are in a scenario where they never meet, they have to be inconsistent. And if they never meet, they also have to be parallel. Here's the other vocabulary word that we're going to be using when it comes to parallel or inconsistent lines. It is independent, which we actually used in our last video. These are independent lines. Independent lines. These are independent lines because these two lines have their own separate equation. They either differ in some aspect that makes them different in some way. And parallel lines, all parallel lines have the same slope. All right, so I don't know what the slope is of these two lines, but I do know that if they are parallel, they have to be the same exact slope. So parallel lines always have the same slope. So independent lines need to be different in some way for them to be considered different equations. Well, parallel lines, while they do share the same slope, have different y-intercepts. So these are independent lines because they have different y-intercepts. Different y-intercepts, okay? And so parallel lines will be independent as well as consistent. And in the next video, I'll show you the third type of scenario.